it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a book haul. Let's start with the books that were sent to me. First is The Queen's Finishing School, Enchanted Glass, by Joslyne and Tyffany Mandov. And they had reached out to me. It is a shorter book, but they said that it would get longer. They just made this one shorter to encourage children to read it that were having trouble getting into reading and so on. The Queen's Finishing School is an elite undercover training academy for protectors of the Kingdom of Tyros. Protector Ella, who once battled Lord Charming for the legendary glass slipper, challenges Caden Swift to earn a spot at the school. To pass the first test and become an apprentice protector, Caden must manage an unpredictable magic mirror, make new allies, and escape Charming's minions. Can Caden leave everything she knows behind and make it to the school by midnight? Sounds great, thank you. Next, Sleepwalkers Round 1 by Izzi, Breigh. Still gotta get this sticker off. This is an ARC edition. The cover is gonna look different. Following your dreams has never been more dangerous. You know this pattern. Go to school, go home, go to sleep. You know where school is, where home is, but where is sleep? Is it a place like any other? That secret has been long kept by the sleepwalkers and hidden from the waking world. In the dead of night, the sleepwalkers roamed around, keeping children like themselves safe from the nightmares lurking in sleep. They have never lost one of their own until now. It's the summer of '86 and 11-year-old Ellie Dasher is not a sleepwalker. She doesn't know who they are or what they do. She couldn't find Indian on a map or tell you what a jaghound looks like. She's just a kid trying on a new town with an imaginary friend who might not be imaginary. It takes one fateful night for Ellie to learn that dreams have sharp teeth, and yes, they do bite. Sounds incredible. Thank you so much. And then Albert Whitman reached out and they sent me a few books. First is an ARC for Coming of Age, 13 B'Nai Mitzvah Stories by several authors, but edited by Jonathan Rosen and Henry Herz. This comes out in March. The short story collection by 13 Jewish writers highlights the diverse experiences of becoming an adult in the Jewish faith. It just sounds incredible. Very excited, so thank you. And they also sent me Summer of Brave by Amy Noelle Parks. And this one's already out. Is being brave worth the risk? 12-year-old Lola doesn't exactly lie. She's just careful. To keep her parents happy, she hides how much she hates moving back and forth between their houses, and she ignores her doubts about the elite high school they're pushing her toward. To keep peace with her best friend Vivi, Lola doesn't share that she got the junior camp counselor job Vivi wanted. And to avoid losing everything she's worked so hard for, Lola doesn't argue when the camp coordinator dismisses an employee's harassment as boys being boys. After all, if Lola starts saying what she feels out loud, everything in her life might come crashing down, and she doesn't need that, except maybe she does. Sounds like an important read, and just sounds really great. And then they also sent me an ARC for a very anticipated release, the Jessie Files. This is the first in that series, and this is the friendship feature by Stacia, Deutsch. Hope I'm saying that right. And all it says on the back is, Jessie's first assignment for the school paper takes an unexpected turn when she finds out there's more to the story than meets the eye. What to expect? Girl-led contemporary mystery spotlights a strong female protagonist from the Boxcar Children brand. Yes, this is a spin-off of the Boxcar Children. Social and emotional storylines that are appropriate for middle grade readers. So, this just sounds great. Very excited. Thank you to them. This is from Peachtree Publishing. They sent me an ARC of The Boy Who Met a Whale by Nizrana Farook. He's the author of The Girl Who Stole an Elephant, which I have read, and I enjoyed it. The ending, I love the whole book, but the ending was, there were some things about that, but overall it was I think it was his debut, so I was very impressed. And then his story in The Very Merry Murder Club was actually my favorite short story in that whole book, so I'm very excited to read this. Rozzy, a local fisher boy, is watching turtle eggs hatch when he sees a boat bobbing into view. With a chill, he notices a small, still hand hanging over the side. Inside is Zing, who's escaped a shipwreck and is full of tales of sea monsters and missing treasure. But the villains who are after Zing are soon after Rozzy and his sister Shufa too. And so begins an exhilarating escapade in the shadow of the biggest sea monster of them all. Very excited. Thank you so much. So that's all the books that were sent to me. And the only sequel I have is next in the Wilderlore series by Foody. This is The Weeping Tide. And I haven't been getting I'm more likely to get UK sequels just because they're cheaper, because they're usually, most of the time, they're paperback, and US is always hardback. But this one was a good price. It was like right around $10, so before I got about it, I went ahead and got it because I do want to read it very soon. But since it's the second one, I'm not going to read the synopsis. So beautiful. I've heard great things about the first book, so I can't wait to read it. And then during one of my searches, I saw this, and it was like $3 on Amazon, so I picked it up. The Solomon Stone by Christine Sandgren. 12-year-old Ruby doesn't know her last name. In fact, she doesn't know a lot of things, including what happened to her parents or why she was abandoned on this scrubby little island where she couch-surfs through life. What she does know, though, is that she's the best tracker on the island, and that given the chance, she'd do just about anything to have a real family and a home. When an island visitor recognizes her as his long-lost niece, she's suddenly in Manhattan with a family, an actual friend, and a huge diamond that used to belong to the King Solomon. Also, every member of the family has an extrasensory gift of sight. Well, everyone except Ruby. Gutterball. When the diamond is stolen and a classmate is found gravely injured, Ruby must hunt to uncover who is behind the sinister plot to unravel her new life. A heist gone wrong, a serious betrayal, and a single gunshot turn the tides. In a race against the clock, Ruby must decide whether to save herself, her newfound family, or the Solomon Stone. Fans of the Mysterious Benedict Society and the 39 Clues will love this thrilling adventure of the Solomon Stone. That just sounds so incredible. Then I'd shown the first book in another book haul, and I had only got the first book, but there was only 2 books out, so I just went ahead and got the second one. Ever Dreams and the End of All Things by A.J. Massey. So I guess this is another sequel. Oops. So I won't read the synopsis, but excited to get that one. I got The Upstairs Room by Johanna Rice. It's a Newbery Honor book, and I love this cover by David Litchfield. He did a beautiful job. It was the only safe place they knew. When the German army occupied Holland in 1940, Annie de Leeuw was only 8 years old. Because she was Jewish, the occupation put her in grave danger. Most people thought the war wouldn't last long, but Annie knew that if she wanted to stay alive, she would have to go into hiding. Fortunately, a Gentile family offered refuge to Annie and her older sister, Cindy. For 2 years, they hid in the cramped upstairs room of the Oostervelde's remote farmhouse. There, Annie and Cindy would struggle to hold on to hope, separated from their family and confined to one tiny room, as a frightful and seemingly endless war raged on outside their window. And I thought this was about the author's life. In the beginning, there's an author's note. I'm not gonna read all of it, but all of it looks powerful. But this book is about my life, or rather part of my life, the part that took place in Holland during the Second World War. In this book, I have gone back to those years when I was a child and Jewish, and therefore undesirable, when I had to hide from the Germans. That was then, more than 70 years ago. Oh, this gets me so emotional. What these people went through. Okay, well, maybe I will read the whole thing, because this is just too important not to. For several years now, I have been going to Germany to speak in schools there, middle schools mainly, and I talk to students who sometimes ask, "Do you hate us because we're German?" This past June, 2 students, a boy and a girl, walked up to where I was standing and gave me the loveliest gift I have ever been offered, €1 from each of them. "So you can buy ice cream. Remember, during the war, that's what you wanted to do the minute you got liberated?" They had read about that in the it's German, so I can't pronounce it, and it says the German translation of The Upstairs Room, which was first published in 1972. This book today remains as powerful as all those years ago when my sister Cindy and I spent close to 3 years in a room no bigger than a crate you might consider storing your winter clothes in. So why dredge that time up again? I can all but hear some people say, why burden our children with that time? It's history. I say, it happened then, yes, but it's valid for now too, as well as for tomorrow. The world continues to be crazy, that's why. Do not be afraid of this book because it's a war story. It's not depressing, I promise. It might touch you, which is not bad. You might even enjoy reading it, even laugh and get to love the Oosterwald family who sheltered Cindy and me at great risk to themselves. They were farmers, Johann, kind of coarse, Dan Che, his wife, no scholar, and Oppo, Johann's mother, toothless. Their lifestyle was primitive, their generosity boundless, as is my gratitude. Johanna Rice. Yeah, force this upon our children. Like, people, it just angers me that people would even say that. It's history. History can repeat itself, and that's diminishing what these people went through and taking it away from them. And anyway, so very happy to have this. And then a book I've had on my wish list forever, Twister by Juliet Forrest. Such a beautiful cover. On the picture it was green, but it came blue. The author said the first printing was green, then they switched it to blue, but I like blue over green anyway, so that was fine with me. She's curious, she's courageous, she's a riddle, she's a rebel, she's Twister. This is the story of a brave, bright girl, a witch who lives in the woods, a necklace that turns you into a wolf, a rainstorm or a rushing river, and a spine-chilling villain who will stop at nothing to seize it. There is magic and danger in these pages, adventure and thrills to be found. Follow Twister inside if you dare. Necklace that turns you into a wolf. Very excited. Another one that I've had on my wish list for a while is Witching Moon by K.E. Bonner. I think it's listed as middle grade and young adult. So, every once in a neon, when the earth eclipses the moon on a winter solstice, an immortal is born under a witching moon. Anne has always had the strangest feelings. Memories she couldn't place, strangers she inexplicably yearned for. After she rescues the enigmatic Philip from a shipwreck, her comfortable life on the island of Kosovo is shattered, and the mystery of her destiny starts to fall into place. Anne leaves behind the life she's always known and sets out with Philip on an arduous journey to Amaranth, where her ancient family awaits her. But the path is dark and daunting, and Anne's powers have only just begun to manifest. Sounds incredible. And then I got Into the Sideways World by Ross Welford. When 12-year-olds Willa and Manny hear of a mysterious animal prowling their town, they are determined to prove it is real. Following it into a cave one full moon, they are swept into an alternative world, one where pollution and conflict were conquered decades ago. But no one believes them, and with a global war looming in our world, their quest for proof becomes ever more urgent and a nail-biting race against time. And once you find a perfect world, can you ever leave it behind? Sounds so good. And then When Lightning Struck by Betsy R. Rosenthal. Texas, 1928. 11-year-old James is struggling to find his purpose in life. With his father struck dead by lightning and his mother in jail, he's haunted by rumors that his family is cursed. He finds a friend in Paul, a Jewish immigrant from Russia, and together they battle the school bully. But James's life is turned upside down yet again when he uncovers a family secret involving his beloved grandmother. His discovery leads him to find the sense of purpose he's been seeking. Sounds like an incredible story. Very important. Maybe. So very excited to read that. Another one I found in one of my searches and got it very cheap on Amazon. Into the Dark by C.J. Lowdy. Love that cover. If you like Harry Potter and you love horror, you'll love Into the Dark. Yay! A new home, a new town, and a terrifying new start. Ella Tickles is certain that the new house she and her family are about to move into is haunted. Her parents and brother try to convince her that she's being silly, but when the black mold on the walls and ceilings begins to move like it's alive, Ella knows something has to be done. She learns from a neighbor that the house has been cursed by the previous owner, Maud Bellingham, who was a witch. No matter what anyone does to get rid of the mold, it keeps coming back, with vengeance. Whilst visiting a magic shop, Ella learns of a way to lift the curse, and she also learns something else, that she is a witch too. Very intrigued by that. Got Forever Birchwood by Danielle Daniel. Adventurous trailblazing wolf lives in a northern mining town and spends her days exploring the mountains and wilderness with her three best friends, Penny, Anne, and Brandy. The girls' secret refuge is their treehouse hideaway, Birchwood, Wolf's favorite place on earth. After her beloved grandmother tells her that she is the great-granddaughter of a tree walker, Wolf knows that she is destined to protect the birch trees and wildlife that surround her. But Wolf's mother doesn't understand this connection at all. Not only is she reluctant to engage with her family's indigenous roots, but she also seems to be on the wrong side of the environmental protection efforts in their hometown. To make matters worse, she's just started dating an annoying new boyfriend named Roger, whose motives and construction company seem equally suspect. As summer arrives, though, so do bigger problems. Wolf and her friends discover orange plastic bands wrapped around the trees near the cherished hangout spot, and their once stable friendship seems on the verge of unraveling. Birchwood has given them so much. Can they even stay together long enough to save this special place? Very excited. Another one I've had on my wish list forever, Lightning Mary by Anthea Simmons. One stormy night, lightning strikes a group of women with a baby sheltering under a tree. Only the baby survives. Her name is Mary Anning. Growing up on the wild Dorset coast, Mary follows after her father in the perilous hunt for valuable fossils uncovered by waves and landslips. Ancient creatures turn to stone. Yet tragedy and despair are never far away. As a girl fighting to fulfill her dream of becoming a scientist, everything is against Mary. But Mary hasn't survived the lightning strike for nothing. Soon she'll make her greatest discovery of all. Love stories based on real people, and this woman seemed to have been a great person, so I'm very excited to learn more about her. Another one I found on Amazon for very cheap. The Mystery at Ma's Hollow by A.K. Hicks. Emma Slay and her best friend Laura Sorsby travel to Ma's Hollow, a mansion in northern Minnesota where Emma's mother will be providing catering services to the crew filming the movie Faded Tapestry. During a visit with Isabel Walker, the elderly owner of Ma's Hollow, Emma discovers an unsolved scavenger hunt based on the items listed on holiday menu that is over 60 years old. Emma, Laura, and their new friend Raza Mata face danger in the northern wilderness and from those who want the treasure, whose secret is linked to the menu, for themselves. So intrigued by that. Very excited. Then I got Hush Hush by Remy Wilkins. Espe Roja lives in Whisper, Mississippi, but she has nobody to whisper to except her invisible friend Silas. When Espe meets Tonka, a mysterious creature in a cicada husk, she is overjoyed to hear that Tonka can help her make Silas real. After Tonka teaches Espe the secret skill of using the lines, Espe realizes she can use her newfound power to coax her schoolmates into being her friends too. But just when everything should be going so well, Espe begins to wonder if Tonka's power might not be the key to friendship she thought it was. Sounds very unique and imaginative. Very excited. I got The Sinking City by Christine Cohen. She wrote The Winter King that I really want to read soon. It's kind of listed like as upper middle grade, so. Venice is a carnival of opposites, and Leona Carvati thinks she understands it all. Canal and palace, magician and merchant, plague and pantomime. As a patrician's daughter, Leona enjoys the sparkling life of a noble family, although she would prefer to be tending to her flowers and practicing violin or standing around in a ball gown. But what Leona fails to realize is that Venice is a city of stone and a world of water, and ruling the dark waters are the Seleni, ageless, cold, and calculating. When she loses everything she relies on, Leona must set a new course that will shake the foundations of Venice itself. Love a good setting in Venice. It's very atmospheric, very excited. I got Maisie Chen's Last Chance by Lisa Yee. No story starts at the beginning. Maisie has never been to Last Chance, Minnesota, until now. Her mom's plan is to stay for just a couple weeks while Maisie's grandfather gets better. But plans change, and as Maisie spends more time in Last Chance, where she and her family are the only Asian Americans, and at the Golden Palace, the restaurant that's been in the family for generations, she makes some discoveries. For instance, you can tell a lot about someone by the way they order food. And people can surprise you, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in disappointing ways. And the Golden Palace has secrets. But the more Maisie learns, the more questions she has. Like, why are her mom and her grandmother always fighting? And who are the people in the pictures on the office wall? When she discovers that a family treasure has gone missing and someone has left a racist note, Maisie decides it's time to find answers. It's like a good mystery, family story, and important issues, so very excited. I got Sophia Acosta Makes a Scene by Emma Othakai. It's a good thing Sophia Acosta loves dreaming up costumes, because otherwise she's a ballet disaster, unlike her parents, who danced under prima ballerina Alicia Alonso before immigrating to the suburbs of New York City. Luckily, when the Acostas host their dancer friend from Cuba for a special performance with the American Ballet Theater, Sophia learns there's more than dance holding her family together. Between swapping stories about Cuba and sharing holiday celebrations, the Acostas have never been more of a team. Then Sophia finds out about the dancer's secret plans to defect to the United States and make a serious mistake. She confides in her best friend, only to discover that Trisha doesn't want outsiders moving to their community. Now Sophia wonders what the other neighbors in her tight-knit suburban town really think of immigrant families like hers. Sophia doesn't want to make a scene, but if she doesn't speak up, how will she figure out if she really belongs? Another great family story with important issues. Very excited. The Visitors by Greg Howard. Down on the long-forgotten Hollow Pines plantation in Georgetown, South Carolina, you're more likely to come across lost souls than living folk, which is a shame for the lonely 12-year-old ghost who, as the only kid on the grounds, could really use a friend right now. With no recollection of who he is or how long he's been there, or even his own name, he simply has no idea how to move on. Visitors from the living world arrive for the first time in a long while. He feels a spark of hope. These visitors are around his age, and they seem to understand that the plantation is not just spooky or eerie. It's a sad place where the unspeakable happen again and again. And as they investigate a past mystery for their school podcast, the boy's long-buried memories begin to shake loose, making him wonder if maybe these visitors can help him uncover the dark secrets of his past so he can finally move on. But Hollow Pines doesn't like visitors, or change for that matter. With a malevolent spirit lurking in the shadows, the boy begins to fear that he'll never find his way home and be stuck at Hollow Pines forever. Very intrigued. Sounds incredible. I got The Supernatural Society by Rex Ogle. Will Hunter thought his life couldn't get any worse. His parents just got divorced. His best and only friend now is his dog, Fitz. And his mom moved them from New York City to a middle-of-nowhere town called East Emerson. But Will was wrong. Things are about to get way worse, because East Emerson is filled with a whole lot of monsters that only he can see. To everyone else, they look like normal people. But to Will, the crossing guard is a minotaur. His teacher is a mummy. The librarian is a lamia. That's half a woman, half snake, for those who don't know. And there are secret codes hidden all over the place. When all the town pets, including Fitz, go missing, Will suspects there's something sinister going on. So he joins forces with Outcast Ivy and super smart Linus to uncover the ancient secrets of East Emerson. Besides, nothing bad could happen when 3 6th graders team up against a town full of monsters, right? Sounds humorous and like a lot of fun, mysterious monsters. Great friendship. I'll have to make sure the dog's okay at the end, but excited. I got The Ghoul of Windy Down Vale by Jake Burke. Cooper Inskeep holds Windy Down Vale's deepest and darkest secret. He is the ghoul that haunts the Vale, donning a gruesome costume not only to scare travelers away from the dangers of the surrounding swamps, but also to keep them from discovering Windy Down Vale's best-kept secret. When a terrified girl claims she and her father were attacked by a creature, one that could not have been Copper, her accusation threatened Copper's secret, his closest friendship, and the fate of all Windy Down. I don't know if I said his name wrong in the beginning, but it's Copper, not Cooper. Very excited. I got The Year I Flew Away by Marie Arnold. Everything is changing for 10-year-old Gabrielle. She had to leave her friends and family back in Haiti, and now she lives in America with relatives she hardly knows. She's having a hard time learning English. Someone at school is bullying her, and she can't get rid of her accent. One fateful night, she meets a powerful witch who offers her 3 slices of mango. Each one will grant her a wish. Gabrielle knows better than to trust a witch, but she can't resist. With these wishes, she'll be able to make friends and fit in. But magic always comes with a price, and before long, Gabrielle is fighting to save everything that's important to her. So intrigued by this. Can't wait to read it. And lastly, I got Cameron Battle and the Hidden Kingdoms by Jamar J. Perry. Mine came damaged from Amazon, but beautiful cover. Cameron Battle grew up reading the Book of Chidani, cherishing stories about the fabled kingdom that cut itself off from the rest of the world to save the Igbo people from danger. Passed down over generations, the book is Cameron's only connection to his parents, who disappeared one fateful night 2 years ago. Ever since, his grandmother has kept the book locked away, but it calls to Cameron. When he and his best friends, Zion and Aliyah, decide to open it again, they are magically transported to Chidani. Instead of a land of beauty and wonder, they find a kingdom in extreme danger, as the Queen's sister seeks to destroy the barrier between worlds. The people of Chidani have been waiting for the last descendant to return and save them. Is Cameron ready to be the hero they need? Inspired by West African and Igbo history and mythology, this adventure-filled fantasy introduces readers to Cameron Battle as he begins his journey to greatness. Yeah, that's what made me very excited. The quote about action-packed fantasy with Igbo and other African mythology. This title is a must-read for fans of Kwame Balia's Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, and that's a book list quote. And that made me very excited to the synopsis plus that, because I love Tristan Strong so much. So very excited for this. Alright, y'all, that's all for this video. Are you excited about any of these? Have you read any of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Let me know in the comments. And if you would like to subscribe, I would love that if you'd like to. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.